Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of Elks Central, breaking this one down.
Rankin, touchdown Edmonton! Fajardo, Dunbar, back on top go the Elks!
Okay, welcome in. Elks Central, Declan, Eddie, and Rick here right off the hop, I believe. Are we ready to go with Kordell? Perfect. Okay, so right off the hop, we are joined by a very, very, very special guest. You know him as the Elks Defensive Player of the Year nominee this past year. Former Ramsey Ram, former Austin P. Governor, former Frisco Fighter, current and future Edmonton Elk, Kordell Jackson joins the show. Kordell, man, thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate it as always. How are you this morning?
I was backstage, man.
Pardon? What was that, Kordell? Sorry, man, we missed that.
I was backstage. I was trying to let them know I was backstage. I had put it in the comment section.
Yeah. All right, well, we got you now. That's what's important.
Okay,
Did you hear our intro?
Yes, I did. Amazing intro, man. I appreciate that.
All right, good, man. How are you this morning, man? We appreciate you being here.
I'm good, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Are you back in Bama right now? Like, what does the off season look like for you?
Well, I'm in Edmonton, man.
Oh, no way. Okay, there we go.
I like
it. Real hustler, man. You don't see that too often.
No. So what are you doing up here in Edmonton?
Just working out, training, doing some community stuff.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Sir.
Yeah. How's the winter been for you?
Oh, it's been cold. It's been cold. It's a lot of snow, a lot of ice. Not used to that, but.
Was that like the biggest culture shock, if you will, for you coming to Edmonton? You were like, man, what's all this about? We don't have this down south.
Yeah, that definitely was the biggest culture shock. It hit you as soon as you get off the plane, man. So with that, I made sure to go get me a jacket because I can't bring my jacket from down south. It's not the same.
Did your agent tell you? Did he tell you like, hey, man, you're probably gonna want to stop and find a parka at Target or something before you get down here?
Nah, he didn't let me know anything, man. I don't think he knew much about it too, to be fair. So I can say that.
I got a question for you really quick. So you and Justin, you guys didn't play in Frisco at the same time, right? You guys were staggered by a year?
Yeah, we played against each other. He played at Bay Area when I was in Frisco.
Okay. So did you guys talk about that experience when you guys both got here in Edmonton? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, so me being in Frisco, he had just left. Everybody used to talk about Rank all the time. So I had finally said, somebody call him so I could talk some trash to him. and then we end up playing against him, man. He scored it was the very first play he scored on me. I said, okay, because at first, I'm watching film. He's never went out for a pass. He always does the jet motion. So he started running. I'm like, he's finna go jet motion, and he takes off down the field. So he did score on me, but I did end up making him fumble, so it was kind of even.
So when you got here in Edmonton, did you guys kind of have that similar connection? Like you guys was it close knit from day one because of that the IFL connection? Yeah.
Yeah, me, him, and Worm from last year, Jermanique Smith from last year, who was on PR all year. But all three of us, man, we were all tight knit, and we all knew, the arena grind. And we was just close from the start. He was actually my roommate last year too, so that's how close we really are.
How do you compare the levels of each of where you've played at, like going from playing NCAA to playing IFL to playing CFL?
They're all different levels. They're still athletes in each one of them. They're still professional athletes, so it's not just a cakewalk as well. But I would say that just the bigger field is the biggest difference from all the three, even from NCAA to IFL to the CFL. Man, the field difference is the biggest part. But I hear that's cutting down, so it may not be the biggest difference anymore.
Yeah, gonna shorten it up a little bit. Smaller end zones. Like as a defender, you've got to be licking your lips about that a little bit, right?
Yes, I'm not going to say I'm happy about it, but I'm not opposed to the changes either.
Okay, so with the changes, how about the goalposts as a defender? Because we all know that did help us in certain situations for sure down in the end zone. Now they move it back, shorter end zones. Do you think that'll be more favorable for the offense?
That's a tricky one. I think it can go both ways because sometimes offensive players used to use the goalpost to set a screen type thing too. But it being in the middle definitely helped for some of the passes because you knew that a quarterback couldn't throw the ball a certain way if they was in a certain part of the end zone. So I think it has its cause and effect, but it has both pros and cons. So we'll just see how it goes during the season.
So They just re-signed Chalen as well. I know when I talked to you at the end of the season, you said, you're happy to play anywhere, whether it's half, whether it's safety, whether it's Sam, but that you liked Sam the best. Obviously, Chalen spent time there as well. He spent time at safety. Kenny is a guy who spent time at safety and spent time at Sam as well. Like, do you guys have conversations between each other? Do you guys go to the coaching staff and say like, hey, this is kind of what we're thinking, what we're like, or do you just let them, scheme it up as they see fit?
Yeah, we let them scheme it up because we feel like they have our best interest at heart for the team. So we all have jokes and stuff like, yeah, if I was at Sam, I would have did this. But it's all fun and games, man. But I love those guys, man, and I'm pretty sure they love me. So it's no hate or anything. We just have a little fun here and there. But end of the day, we're willing to play and ready to play any position they put us in.
Kordell, they say the Sam or the weak half, the hardest positions on defense, maybe even the hardest position in the CFL. What is it about the Sam that you enjoy the most, brother?
Just being able to you can affect the game at Sam. You can give false reads to quarterbacks. You can affect what they do with the ball. Because most of the time people read the Sam for RPOs. So you can either give them a run read or you can give them a pass read. So you really can, like I said, affect which one the quarterback does. And it can play. And if you know the defense well enough, then you can play it into your hands.
Well, playing at the FCS level down at Austin P, not just to jump back to college for a second, like, did you have kind of a mindset of, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but kind of like, man, like, I'm really better than these dudes, but like we're an FCS school, like some of those weeks when you play those FBS schools, like so sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Like it's a bought game. But did you have that kind of mindset? Like, man, like I'm better than these dudes, but I'm on this FCS team, so it's not always showing.
For me personally, I always feel like I'm the best player on the field anyway. So it was just the fact of proving it, and you just got to prove it day in and day out, game in and game out. But my first game when I had that moment where I was like, okay, I really can do this for a living. It was just my very first game we played against Cincinnati, and I was a freshman, going in on my very first start, and just having a good game and just seeing how I affected the game. It was just like, okay, like they're FBS, but it's not really a difference. The biggest difference for FCS and FBS is always the upfront guys, the linemen.
Yeah.
And that's really the only difference because skill players, it'll be a slight difference, but it's not much at all.
Do you see do you ever see a world in the NIL era where you have like a donor or an alum from one of those FCS schools who all of a sudden is pouring in like Mark Cuban or Phil Knight or like Todd Graves money into a program? Like, do you think that could be a possibility? And then all of a sudden you get one of these FCS schools and you're like, whoa, like where did that come from?
Yeah, it's becoming a money game, man, and it's a lot of people with money. I do think it's a possibility, definitely with North Dakota State, those powerhouses like that. I definitely feel like it's a possibility. It's probably going on now. We just don't know about it, but I definitely know it's a possibility because they still have some of the, not the more resources, but they still have some resources to get that done.
North Dakota State, like that's so impressive what they do, man, to be able to recruit and get kids up to play up there in Fargo, man.
No, for sure. And one of the things like Kordell talked about is like the difference from the FBS to the FCS level is the line play. But like North Dakota historically, like they've always built a really strong offensive line, especially front seven as well to a degree, but like offensive line to Kordell's point, so yeah. The one thing I wanted to ask about, just kind of schematics, like you said, your favorite blitz package was coming out of the 4-6-2, playing as the Sam. Again, like I know it's kind of a repeated question, but do you go to the coach and like tell him like, hey, I have the most success in this package, like draw up this scheme, like give us this formation, and I'm gonna go out there and make a play? Or similarly to the personnel, is it a little bit more like trust is completely with them? They're gonna help us do our thing to the best of our ability.
Oh no, it's definitely a give and take, man. I love that with Coach JC and Coach Grymes. If I see something, because at some point, I do want to go into coaching, so I do treat the game as a coach sometimes. So if I do see something that's not just for me, it's just for anybody like that, I feel like it'll work, I would go to them, and then he will give us the opportunity to try it at practice. And if it does work in practice, then he'll have us the opportunity to try it in the game. But if it doesn't work in practice, we'll probably just figure out a different way to do it. But they're not really a dictatorship. It's definitely what's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely a give and take. It's just what I
Yeah, they're open to have that conversation.
Is
Yeah,
Coach
definitely.
Grymes, is he the most animated coach, like the most passionate coach you've ever been around? Dude,
I
you
can say
watch him
he's
like on the
definitely up there.
sidelines, and there is not a guy in the league who cares more than him. Yeah.
And it's crazy because like he's really like that on our success, but our failures or our shortcomings, I wouldn't say failures, but he's not as animated. It will just be more of a correction. Like he knows how to dial it back and not be disrespectful in any type of way. Even though we know him and we know it would be coming from a passion of the game and passion to want to win, he doesn't do that as far as when we are not doing our job. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a all right, we both adults, let's get this right. You know you wrong, let's figure it out. How do we not let this happen again? But when we're winning now and when we're making plays, now he's definitely the most animated coach I know.
Has he or does he ever pull up tape from his day and show you fellas?
I was gonna ask that
Nah,
too.
he's too humble for that one, man. He's definitely too humble for that one. Maybe Coach JC will pull it up for him. Be like, "Here's your coach, man. You know, show some respect or something like that." But it's all fun and games at the end of the day. Coach Grimes, we know he's a great player. We know what he did for the Elks and the other places he played, and even in the NFL. So it's always respect between him. We know he knows the game. We know he knows how to play it. So we're always open ears when he speaks.
He was a beast.
Oh, man, he was.
I say this,
Dude, he
every
was.
time I get the chance to say this, and Deck and Rick have heard this time after time. He is the best tackling defensive back I've ever played with.
Yep.
Out of 17 years, 9 of those were pro football. He was the best tackling DB I've ever played with.
Dude, he's another guy, like similar, like when we went to the Riders game and he was like, who's number 50 out there? Again, my dad was like, who's the guy with the long hair? Like he was noticing him. To your point, like he was a guy who was always sticking out. Kordell, Kobe was another guy who just re-signed. I feel like Kobe's a really underrated part of that DB unit just because, like you, JJ, and Terrell. Like I think Kobe's kind of the forgotten man sometimes, but really underrated player. But like how close-knit are you guys as a DB room?
This is probably, if I could be completely honest, I'm not just saying that just because like we're on a podcast or but this is probably one of the closest group I've ever dealt with in whole. Like there's nobody on this group that I wouldn't do anything for. And me and Kobe actually, we took a trip together in the off season, man, just to have a good time. But me and all the DBs, we still stay in contact. We make sure we're working. We still have fun. We always trying to link if anybody's close to our city or anything like that, man. This is one of the groups, and we always going out to eat together when we're in season. We're always coming over each other's house playing the game. And it's just one of those groups to where I'm so glad that they kept us together, man. Besides, fat buying them, but I am glad that we were able to keep most of us intact, man. I think that's going to be really big for the team, and let us take more of a leadership approach this year. Because last year, we were all mostly young, except Royce and Kobe for the most part, Tyrell even. But now we all, together. We all took a step. We all growing together, and I just feel like now we could take a more of a leadership role on the team as well as in our own personal groups.
Well, and I was going to ask you something very similar to this. With all you guys coming back and having this continuity, we saw how good you guys finished the year. Do you think you'll hit the ground running that much quicker this next season?
Yes, that's definitely the plan. If we don't hit the ground running, it'll definitely be a disappointment. But like I said, man, whatever happens, we know we're gonna do our best to put on a great show for the fans and put on a great show for our team, man, and make sure we're winning games early. Got to start fast for sure.
Yes.
So what's your, like, how long are you in Edmonton? Are you going back home at all? Like, what's your timeline here look like?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Just knock out all that stuff, make sure I'm meet some of the new free agents, man, and then I'll head back home for 2 months.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
head back up in May.
What do you do when you're back home? Like, are you working with your old high school? Are you doing any type of clinics? Like, what do you do down there?
I used to coach when I went back, but now I have a daughter now. She's about 1 year old, so I just spend most of my time with her, just as much time as possible, because that 6 months be so hard. But just spend time with family. Do a little coaching when I can. If anybody hits me up to come and speak or anything like that, or want me to help with the DBs, I go do that. Just because I do love to get back. I do love just giving knowledge anytime I can, giving advice anytime I can to the younger generation, because I do feel like we need it, and especially this time for high school athletes and not being as recruited because of the transfer portal. Just trying to get them advice on that and using all the resources possible.
Mm-hmm.
What would be some of the best advice you would give to a young athlete in that situation?
My best advice is, if you're not, receiving any offers or anything like that, make sure you continue to put the work in. Make sure you are ready for the opportunity, number one. And then
Mm-hmm.
number two, taking that JUCO role, because now in JUCO you can play 2 years and you're still a freshman when you come out to go to college, like true
Yep.
university. So I think people should definitely use that aspect. For me, that wasn't really a choice for me, because I wanted to well, I had a Division One offer because they didn't have the transfer portal at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful for that one. But it would have took 2 years of my playing, but now you get 2 years and now you just become a transfer at that time. So
Yeah.
now with 4 years of eligibility, and that's what coaches are looking for now. They want to win now. No one really has the time to develop. So now you have to develop yourself, or your coach in high school has to develop you into a Division One player, because if you're not, then they're not coming to get you. It's just that simple.
So you're pretty like you're anti-transfer portal then.
I think it has its pros and cons. I just
Yeah.
think it needs to be some more stipulations. That's all it is.
No, I agree, because like I think the idea of the transfer portal is obviously to be player friendly and like to like that's obviously what it's for. But it has skewed into this thing where all of a sudden like Carson Beck turned 35 this year, man. Like as the quarterback of Miami, like he's there for
his 17.
Yeah, he's like there, dude. Like dude, when he committed to Georgia, Malachi Toney, who granted played this year at 17, but he was like 11 years old or something, or like 10 years old. Like that's what the transfer portal's gotten us. So I understand it from that perspective. But it is funny because like teams used to, like if Bama used to have a problem at nickel corner, you had a problem at nickel corner. Now you just go buy a nickel corner. And so it has like stunted the development. So that's why I like what you said about the, the JUCO, like go develop, go play, use all the time you have. Like
that eligibility.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kordell, I wanted to ask you just a little behind the scenes that some people might not know. The gym, the weight room there, because you just got top of mind there because you're in the offices. Nice view, by the way, huh?
Yes, it is. I like this view for sure.
It's awesome, man. See the stadium. It's perfect out those windows. It's like heaven, to be honest, heaven on earth. Well, you're playing with this organization. It's a beautiful view. But the gym, you guys used to work out up in the public facility where
the community weight
with
room.
the general population. And then this new regime, they moved it, because when I played, that's where we worked out too, where it used to be. And now you guys have moved it to some office space, kind of overlooking the stadium with that view. It's more privatized. How do you like that? Because you've done both now with this organization.
I'm fine with either one. Really, work is just work. But I do say that it's more, you can play your own music out loud with the team. You get more bonding with the team without being interrupted. So I do like that aspect of it. But really, like I said, I'll go work out in the dungeon. It doesn't matter to me, man. I just want to get to work.
And just to pony on top of that, do you get in the pool, and are you on that field turf at all? Because how many other facilities are around where you have the field turf, a gym, the pool, all under one roof, the steam room, everything right there?
Yeah, I take advantage of all that stuff, definitely. I'm supposed to be going to the field in a minute as soon as we get off this, but yeah, I do all of that every day. The sauna, the cold tub, hot tubs, I do all of it.
Kordell, you a guy who like actively sets goals for yourself going into the season? Like you like come into the last season, you're like, I want to be the defensive player of the year nominee. Like I want to be a CFL West All-Star. Like there's things like those, or are you someone? So you do, okay.
I set goals for sure.
Okay. So what are the goals for this season? 10
interceptions. I want to be the defensive player of the year overall for the entire league. I want to be a All-Star for CFL All-Star, CFL PA All-Star.
So I want to actually ask about this. 10 interceptions. I love it. You had 4 2 years ago and then 1 this past year. What do you think? Is there any specific reason that you might be able to pinpoint for a little drop off there?
I just wasn't catching the ball this year. That's all that was. I got my hands on plenty of them, had plenty of opportunities. I just didn't take advantage of them, and that's all on me.
Just got to finish.
You can be bull rushing your teammates on the tip drill. Like,
oh yeah. I plan. I want to be the first one off the board. I want to be the first one out the board
Yeah,
for sure.
I like that.
What music do you listen to before games?
It really depends on the vibe, man. I can go gospel, I can go gospel rap, I can go trap music, I can go R&B. Like it
Okay.
really just depends on the mood of the day. That's really it. But I can literally be very versatile.
And I guess just a couple more rapid fire ones here before we let you. Like, who is the first one? Who's the toughest player to tackle in the league?
Toughest player to tackle in the league. I'm guessing we're talking about running backs, or we're talking about just in
Anybody
general?
overall?
Well, yeah, overall, but
Who
the
gives
reason
you a challenge?
I was thinking running backs because my next question is who's going to be the toughest to defend coming off that waggle in the slot there. But yeah, like
Everybody's gonna say Brady. I'm assuming.
I know, like yeah, you
Brady,
almost
I would
have
say
me on it.
Brady. I would say Brady. It's just because he's squatty body and he has great balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's short and
And
steady.
he's such a like he understands like the nuances of everything so well. Like
Yeah.
he knows how to use his leverage so well. And so what about defending in the slot coming off that waggle there?
The two that comes to mind, Keyshawn Johnson was pretty good in the slot. He knows how to use the waggle down. He knows how to change his tempo, so he's pretty good. And then Lawler, just because he has unbelievable ball skills. You know, the way he tracks the ball is
Yeah.
amazing. And I think that's why he's consistently 1,000 yards, touchdowns. Highest paid, that type of stuff.
I guess I actually do have one more question for you. And I've never really thought to ask this, but like as an American playing in the league, like do you have a problem with the game rule ratio? Like do you ever think like it hasn't really affected you just by like, by the personnel on the Elks right now, but have you ever thought like, man, like, I should be out there, but instead they got to throw a Canadian out there because of the rules?
I was just talking to my coach about this earlier. I just think they should just up the roster size. You want to be honest, to 53, just because you have the rule.
I would agree. Yeah.
And then the NFL has a 53-man roster. They only have 11 people on the field at a time. We have 12 people. And we have the Canadian rule.
Yep.
So I just say, if anything, just up it to a 53-man roster, and then that way you can carry more Americans if someone gets hurt and stuff like that. If need be.
Yeah, I don't know. You came to me. I never.
Be a sensitive topic sometimes.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Sure. Either way, for Americans,
I would imagine it could. Like now, the Elks are
arguing in the past.
The Elks are lucky because, like, defensively, the Canadians, like, it's Terrell, it's Royce, and it's Joel, right? Like, those are three pretty good players, right? Like, it's not really much of an issue there. But like Eddie's always made the point, like back in his day, like. The field corner was just some terrible Canadian who looked like me. They're like, we got to get him on the field, like put him out there on the far side, So
high, and then vice versa. That's what the wideout would be too.
Yeah.
The corner and the wideout.
They just be over there like playing patty cake.
Canadian out there, man. You go take a couple of reps and then go play specials.
Be talking about snow days growing up in school and stuff like that. Kordell, man, is there anything you want to leave us with? Anything we didn't touch on? Any message for the Elks fans? Like anything you want to end this one off with?
I'll give a message to the fans for sure. Message to the fans would be, man, love to see you guys out there. We'll love to pack the bowl, get to the second level, and just be ready, man. I think it's going to be a special one for sure.
Amen, brother. Well, man, thank you so much for doing this. We really, really appreciate it. Much love. God bless. And have a good workout here.
All right, man. Thank y'all again for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Kordell Jackson, Elks Defensive Player of the Year nominee, defensive half, safety, and Sam. Good one. Yeah, man. It's I don't know. Like I've never, because like as a Canadian who grew up watching and just loving the CFL, like obviously I have no problem with that. Like I'm like, hey, this is our game. Like this is our league. But I'm sitting here kind of like thinking, and I'm like, man, like if I'm Kordell and I'm like an American who like who's only been on the team a couple of years, and I get here and like my initial role in the depth chart is behind a Canadian just cause. Like, I'd be kind of pissed.
It can be a sensitive topic for
some
players, man. And
well,
like I said, either way, for Americans or Canadians, I've heard some interesting conversations over the years about different guys.
Well, I definitely want to hear about that. But like the other side of the coin is like, okay, so imagine if you're like a Canadian and they got a guy like Joel who's like, he's Canadian now. It's like, oh, the dude who grew up in Washington his whole life and played college ball at Cincinnati. because like his
we've
mom's
talked about it.
yeah.
We've talked about it.
And Joel kind of made like he was joking about it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a fake Canadian. What are you gonna do?"
And he knew.
Yeah. But that's interesting. So, what are some of the conversations?
Just arguments,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes you'll have guys. Usually, they're American Canadians are a little more shy and quiet about their business. Just full on, say I'm better. I should be playing, and this is garbage. This racial rule is garbage.
Yeah.
And then as Canadians, you're also very proud, right?
Yeah.
So you're
right, like it's your game.
Proud of the heritage, and you don't want to be there. For me, at least, I hated the notion that I was just there because I was Canadian.
Yeah,
I hated that. That fueled me to be there because I was good, right? So it gets sensitive on both sides of it, because there's guys that really believe that the ratio and the racial rule is trash, and that Canadians just get a soft spot on the roster. And
did it ever like boil over into like
not throwing fists, but arguments? Oh yeah. And when you get a room full of 80 to 100 guys with that much testosterone, that much alpha, it boils over every day. There's arguments every day, loud arguments, shouting every day, tons of funny moments, but there's guys are getting into beefs every day, different position groups and stuff, shouting at each other. Usually it's the DBs, man.
I was just gonna say,
experience, the DBs are definitely like the loudest. Their receivers are known to be diva, and DBs are diva in their own way, but then they always have this inner group bickering. They always would fight amongst each other. Every team I played on, man, these DBs.
So they were the biggest diva.
They love each other, but they fight hard.
What do you think that is? Like, because my thing is like, I think it's because it's like, I don't think people probably truly understand how hard it is to play DB, right? Like you're doing everything backwards, and all the rules are against you, right? So like, I think that's part of it, and I think like my take would be that other DBs are supposed to, like in that DB room, you're supposed to appreciate, you're supposed to understand more when a mistake is made. Like you're supposed to be able to like live with it and understand it because you know it so much better. And then to like feel like you don't have a guy in your corner, like that would, I would think, boil it over.
Yeah, totally. That's very well said.
Thank you.
Very well verbalized there,
man.
Brother.
I got another one for you. And did you ever play with a white dude who were like, okay, this guy's got some like real swag to him?
For sure.
Like he's got some brother in him.
No, not so much. I didn't know you were saying that.
Yeah, so like I
thought you meant like athlete swag.
No, I was talking about like white chocolate, like Jason Williams to him.
No.
Okay.
Guys like JC, like he could fit in with every group and be really funny and good, but never a white guy who really never saw like a white guy come with cornrows.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was that's what I was asking. Okay.
Generally, it's races stick together, but then it's nationalities stick together. So it's very interesting because positional groups will stick together, but then you'll find some brothers will tend to stick with each other more, and some of the white special teamers will hang out and go out and eat more, and then position group too, right? Or sorry, nationality, right? Canadian and American. A lot of Americans will just kind of stick with each other because they're up here alone, don't have the same support structure. We're Canadians. You understand how it works up here in Edmonton, Alberta, because it's no different than Winnipeg, Manitoba. You know what I mean?
Did you find like Americans were like, this is actually a dumb question because the answer is like an obvious yes, but I guess I'll ask it anyway because I started it. But I was going to say you must have felt Americans were so much more on their toes. Like this could be my last day on the roster, man. Whereas Canadian, really? Hey, okay.
Almost vice versa.
No way. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Vice versa. Yeah. Canadians would there's panic in every player, but no, that fear probably is more actually in Canadians than Americans.
That's so interesting because I would have thought like Americans coming up are kind of a bit more a dime a dozen.
Up and it's like laissez-faire, it's not a big deal. They're probably coming up to the CFL. This is like their 4th, 5th, 6th team now.
Yeah,
been cut a few different times. We're Canadian. This is your first shot. This is the pros you've been waiting for. Whereas Americans come up and really treat it as second tier until they realize what's about.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah, I totally get it from that perspective because that's another interesting point. You talk about them treating it like it's second tier. Like at what point, how quick do guys kind of like lock in? And here's another thing. Like I think I would think a lot of Americans initially come up and like, I'll go ball out here and go to the NFL. Like how long does it take for them to kind of realize like, that's like, it's got to be pretty quick.
Yeah, it's quick. It's like within that first week of practice. And you can even tell when a guy's serious and if a guy is going to be able to stick.
Yeah.
Like it's a different game in terms of defensive tackle, for example, I'll bring up, you need to be a little smaller and in shape up here. Whereas down there, you need to be bigger, just a plug, essentially. You don't have to run as much, play clock's a lot longer, smaller field. So you can see when a guy's just right off the couch sloppy, you know he ain't gonna make it. And I've seen it hundreds of times.
Did you ever see it? You might have even been involved of like a Canadian like lighting up an American in practice, and the American being like, "Whoa,
totally, man." It humbled quick.
Humbled
quick. And especially it's, to a degree somewhat unfair. A lot of guys are being rotated in, tried out, brought up, and signed in season when we're like in the flow of it, where these guys have been cut. All they've had is like 2 preseason NFL games in the past 2-3 years because they've just been getting cut everywhere at camp. So like they don't have a lot of game piece to them. So to be thrown into the fire and then learn the CFL game, yard off the ball, all that, it could be tough for sure. It's tough,
man. I just wish I would have played in the CFL. Like I just wish I would have been. I wish it would have been good enough, bro. I wish I was a little better. I wish I was a little stronger. I wish I was a little taller.
You just had to be more of a dog on specials. Really, is what it comes down to.
The thing is, I didn't even really actually did play specials, but it was like
you didn't love it.
I didn't love it, and also, well, it's like I didn't think I was a teamer. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, so I should have been. Yeah. Oh man, I could have been.
You run.
I could have been
tall. You easily could have been a teamer.
I could have been Michael Broderick.
You could have easily been a teamer.
Missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. Rick, man, did we miss anything in that interview? You were sitting there like, I can't believe these guys didn't ask that.
No, not at all, man. I really enjoy the fact that pretty much all the interviews have been guys on the D, no?
Yeah,
it's true.
I was thinking we need like a receiver.
But they all are so jacked up about coming back next year. They are also very close. Like that's a great sign to me when it comes to any type of a team that your room is that close.
Yeah. Well, I think the plan was we were supposed to get Austin Mack today. Obviously, this was a pretty busy week for the Elks communications team, just with the free agent communication window opening and stuff like that. So weren't able to make that happen. Hopefully next week. I would it would be nice to talk to someone from the offense, get a little bit of a perspective instead of our like 6 DB in a row. As much as I love the DB, like I could talk to DBs all day. Yeah.
Too, and we can edit this out. Let's get the laptop in front of the TV so our eyes aren't looking down.
Oh, dude, I know.
We're looking more at the camera.
For sure.
And stuff, so we're not like that.
You're like always looking at it, and I'm like looking down there, then looking at you, like 100%. You're doing the right thing for sure. Yeah.
Sportsnet background.
Yeah, it's true.
In there, it's just playing. That's tough. TV is interesting. It's a different beast than radio.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude.
That camera on and my last hit. So we had 4 hits throughout the week, and they're like 3-4 minute clips talking about practice and leading up to the Grey Cup, me and Arash. But the most challenging one was the last one after the Grey Cup game. I was tired too, late game, but you're on the field and they got all these people running around you and you're trying to talk and answer what he's asking you with all these fans and stuff, people behind the camera. It was very distracting.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah, I would imagine, man. Like it's such an unnatural thing too. Like no one, like, I don't know, you can be like the best speaker, most confident guy, but like the second you have like a camera in your face and like TV, it's just so different. Yeah. Like it's weird. I was watching Coach Freeman, Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame's coach at the, he was like on the panel during the Natty broadcast.
Oh.
And dude, he was like, he looked rough at it. Like he was rough. And I'm like, dude, like you're the coach in Notre Dame. Like I know you know how to address a group.
I know they threw a question to him and he just like
dude, it was.
I know exactly.
He's like looking at his notes, like nervously tapping his pen.
Damn, how do you recruit like this?
That's what dude, that's the thing, because like you see videos of him address the team and you're like, wow, what a leader. Like you see him on the sidelines, like he knows how to like talk in front of a group, but it's just man.
It's so funny that you just brought that up. I watched that live too. I'm like, dang, coach.
Which is why, like, and some guys who make the transition well, it's really impressive, like it's few and far between, but still. Other Elks news, we did talk about it a little bit with Kordell. Kobe resigns, another defensive halfback. Like I said, and I'm sure we'll get into this a little deeper on Monday, but I do think Kobe is like, you just don't hear about him in that DB group the way you hear about like Terrell and the way you hear about Kordell and the way but he was a really solid piece. Like he was there all year and got an extension for a reason. And it's not quite like I don't want to say it if you don't hear their name, it's a good thing because it means they're not messing up. But there is like a little bit of truth to that. Like, obviously you want to hear their name for the splash plays and, but like Kobe was a really, really serviceable, really good player. And like, I don't think I've never talked to Kobe after a game. I've never talked to him after practice. We've never had him on here. Like, I don't know anything about Kobe. I just know that I like his game, and he's a guy who completely flies under the radar.
What's interesting too, with all of them being re-upped, I bet that most of them are somewhat in the same ballpark contractually in terms of what they're making. And it's unique because you talk about how close,
except for Terrell. I think Terrell's on,
making big bucks, and he's that Canadian too, which again could cause some of those conversations. You're only getting paid because you're Canadian, right?
That's a combo that happens, eh?
Oh man, depends on how toxic your locker room is. I've been in some toxic locker rooms.
Hamilton.
No, Sask.
Oh, don't do it to me.
Yeah, I've been in some toxic locker room where like those are real conversations. Like, you're only getting paid because you're Canadian. Like,
anything ever directed at you?
Yeah.
No way. Wow.
For sure. Yeah, man. Definitely.
Were you like, yo, I'm about to be all decade? Like,
no,
relax.
Man, in that moment, man, you're just day to day.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get by, trying to get sacks.
Yeah.
Trying to get the haters off your back.
Mm.
But what I was going to say is it's unique how tight they all continuously are saying that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly the upper management in the organization believes that and sees it too, to bring them all back, have that continuity, because they believe in what this unit can do. And you mentioned Terrell, he's making big bucks, but I bet they're all very kind of similar ballpark in just, having them all together and keeping them all happy and everybody's eating.
Yep.
Not one guy is just making such drastically more. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is, like, because we talked about this a little bit. Like, if you're like a half or if you're a corner playing same side of the field, like that's kind of like your D pairing partner. Like, exactly. So you do have like a real kind of chemistry with them and a real kind of camaraderie. Like, it's like they know you.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, they know you best, you know them best, and like that's
Now they're not all on rookie deals either,
yeah.
Right? So not one guy's not only making 75, now the rest are making 130, 140. Like, I bet they're all making like a good little chunk of change together, which is nice. It's a good signal, really. It's more just a signal that you guys are the guys that are getting it done.
One thing we haven't really talked about too much is like, and I don't know where you guys come out on this one, is like what they basically have three players who can play safety in Kordell, Chalin, and Royce. I think Kordell is like, he likes Sam the best. I think I like him at defensive half. Like, how I like it is Kordell at defensive half, Chalin at the Sam, and I like Kenny Logan at the safety. And then Royce Mechie, who's a Canadian and a really good player, he's kind of the odd man out.
Coming off the injury, though, we'll see.
And but he played well last year when he was in, and he started the season. But it's like you kind of have
should kill him. Talk about how like he always would. Royce.
So that's kind of what I wanted to ask you guys. Like, you really have three guys there who can play safety. You have three guys there who can play Sam. You probably have two who can play half out of these four names. Like, how do you divvy it up between those four?
I know who my Sam is. I know who my two wide corners are.
Yeah. The corners are for sure.
Yeah. The remaining three between safety and the two halves. That's up.
Well, no, because that's what, like, I think Kobe's for sure going to be that field half. So then you have weak side half.
Yeah. You have weak half and safety.
Yeah. But you got Kordell, Chalin, Royce, and Kenny Logan. Cordell's your Sam. Okay. So Chalin.
Yeah. You got Kenny and Chalin.
And then Royce up at safety.
There's only two positions.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
saying.
Royce is
coming off an injury too. So we'll see.
Man.
I'm not odd man outing just because of the injury.
Yeah.
But we'll see how he comes into camp. And
it wasn't
Rachel Royce is a Canadian.
It wasn't KJ talking about them having a complete faith in the coaching staff, putting them where they should be.
Yeah.
He did. And I do believe they'll figure it out.
Like I say, yeah, there's really only two positions to get sorted, I think, in the back end.
Because like the way it like almost figures to divvy up is like I don't think Kenny doesn't really play.
Cordell's not a safety or a half. He's a Sam.
Oh, I think he's a good half. I think he's a good defensive half.
I think he's in the box, Sam.
He likes it best. I totally agree. I'd be interested to know. I wrote about this or I tweeted it. I'd want to know what Chalin likes playing best as well. Like, I'd just be curious to know. But dude, like, that's why I like it's similar to JJ Ross. Like, I think Kenny Logan is really, really good, man. Like, I think he flies around. He's aggressive. He's not dumb about it. Like, he's good game. Like, yeah. and I want him in my lineup, but I just don't. I don't know how it. Like I'm like if I'm doing the exact same thing you are. Like Royce is my odd man out. Like I would have because I would put Jalen at the Sam, Kordell at half, and I'd put Kenny at safety, and I'd be like, that's three Americans. But I know that's
what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
That's the factor too. Got to think all about the ratio, and it's not going to be too big of a change because you don't have to have 2 Canadians back in the secondary. You still have Ford out there,
Yep.
so that's big.
To make
But they don't really have any Canadians on their D line.
no, they well, like yeah,
And
Fran,
Joel.
yeah,
So
well,
you don't need to start
yeah.
3 Canadians on D. You got Joel, and if you got Tyrell, boom, you can go American in the secondary. That's usually what most teams do is have
Yeah.
2 on D. And then you have a couple. You got your 3 O linemen, your interior O linemen.
Yep.
There's 5 and 2 receivers.
Yeah. I don't know.
So is that what it is? 7
And that's-
starters?
Yeah, 7, and that's what
I
it's.
think
setting up
it's
to be.
8.
Man, unless it's changed.
I think it's 8.
oh,
I'm pretty sure it's 8.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
I thought it was 8.
Glad we're not live.
Yeah, no doubt.
Cut this. Man, it must have gone up because it was 7 when I played.
I think it's 8.
Which I wouldn't be surprised. There's been a lot of CBAs.
Yeah.
Minimum national starters is 7.
Yeah.
21 national players. Yeah, there you go. So 7.
No, but that's all because it's 23 nationals now. I thought it was. Is it still
This
21?
is,
21?
Yeah, what I'm looking at here does not tell me when it was produced.
I didn't know it was 8, but hey, I could be wrong. I'm not standing 10 toes down.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll trust the guy
Because
who
there's
played.
been so many. Well, man, when I played, I knew what it was, but there's been like everything's higher. Minimum wage is higher. So
Yeah.
I'm shocked, but I didn't know that they upped the amount of Canadians.
Yeah, a club must start at least eight nationals. It is, yeah. But obviously, this is another thing that's important. One of those can be your designated American.
Yeah, right. That's true.
So,
Again, that's something.
that's
different,
new.
too.
That's new as
And
well.
That's kind of interesting itself.
Yeah.
right?
That's got to
DI,
like,
or DA, I should say.
and DA is like,
DI, designate import.
like designated American. Also, it's like, I guess maybe actually, I was gonna say like it's not like you have to be there that long, but it's so designated American. It's either 3 years with the team or 5 years in the CFL.
Yep.
And I was gonna say that's not really that long, but you know what? Maybe that actually kind of is. Like
3
that's,
years on a team is getting up there nowadays.
Yeah, that's hard
Yeah.
to do.
So that's valid.
You got to really be productive to be on a club for 3 years.
Yeah, you do. Especially, yeah, like it's crazy, man. I like Jason made a really good point. Like the fact that no contract is ever really longer than like a 2-year extension. Like, how are you supposed to get behind a player as a fan? Like, how are you supposed to get invested in like this guy as a guy? I'm gonna
You in an extension of 2 years isn't even 2 years, man.
No.
Everything is year to year.
yeah, oh for
Every
sure.
contract is year to year
Yep.
because how many guys get cut right before their bonus in the off season?
Yep.
Trey Ford, he signed less than a year ago. He signed a huge extension
Yep.
for 3 years or whatever it was.
Roster bonus comes around and they're like, see,
It's,
man.
it's a year to year deal.
Yep.
It's hard to get behind. So as much as players are guilty for wanting to chase the bag and go hop to the highest bidder
I
everywhere
can't
around,
blame him, man.
I mean, franchises are just as guilty for zero loyalty to players.
What there's gotta be gotta make something in the CBA. It's like 100% of the money is in the signing bonus, no game check. That's what we
That's the only little commitment you'd ever get.
yeah.
Man, you've heard me say it hundreds of times. The minute you sign, they're looking to replace you.
Yeah,
Younger and cheaper.
man.
The minute you sign, they're scouting to see how they can upgrade from you or go cheaper.
It's a cold game, man.
It's cold, man. And then you have a couple of bad games, and you give them the opportunity to make that move.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal.
Was there any Elks news we missed in the past couple days?
And there's been a whirlwind. Of news,
Yes,
but
there
I
has.
think we've been on top of everything for the most part. You and your Big J journalism.
Big
hats
J
off.
journal.
Busy off season,
Mhm.
writing, podding.
Writing
You're
at like a
doing
5th grade
big.
level, but
Three
getting it
Down
out there.
Nation, too,
Yeah.
boy.
Three Down Nation does a great job. Yeah,
You're out here contributing
absolutely.
on all levels.
Well, what I really want is like I want to apply to be like a CFL PA writer. I don't even know what the organization is, but basically like I want to be able to vote on the awards. Like I want to,
Mhm. Get in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
make some.
It's not hard, I'm sure. Like it's a lot of
No.
just the general media, the people that we
Yeah.
hear or read that kind of cover the league.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not. Yeah, like it's. Yeah, and it's not like I'd be so like out of touch. I'm like everything's Elks on my ballot.
no,
You know
no,
what I
no.
mean? Like obviously be objective here. So, but I have like kind of thought about it from this aspect, like someone who like, and I don't know if we'll have to cut this, but like someone who has like a vote, like someone who votes like with the PHWA or PWHA, professional yeah, or you know AP for the NFL votes. Like, can they not like go bet on like Darren Radish to have a heart vote and then submit him as 5th place on their ballot and go cash that ticket?
I mean, the ethics behind it,
yeah,
right?
I don't know, right?
You guys
Like,
can gamble, and
I also hear like,
if you get caught, you can do anything. If you get caught, though, it's a bad look.
well, that's what because I listen like Joel Klatt. Does play-by-play for Fox, like college football. He has a college football podcast. He's like one of the big talking heads in college football, and he has a Heisman vote. And he'll like say things like in his podcast, be like, guys, I'm really loving Travis Hunter for the Heisman. You're going to want to go ahead and place that bet. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, you have a vote, man. Like, what can you be saying this?
Yeah,
and I don't like Joel. He's like, I think he's a pretty stand-up guy. Like, I don't think he's doing a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nefarious thing. But I'm still like, man, can you like say that? Like, you're like,
They kind of have to now because their biggest money coming in is like
move them
gambling,
towards
Yeah.
the gambling,
right? So
That's
you're
true.
supposed to like
Move
talk
the
and
listeners
pump it
towards
up,
it.
but like don't go too much. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's like
that's
a
true.
fine line there.
yeah.
It's true because like it's everywhere. It's
They're the advertisers
it's
right now.
infiltrated every sport, and it's putting so much money into sport.
Yeah, I know. Oh, dude, like the gambling industry, what they make compared
Just
to every
putting
other
so
industry
much money
combined.
back in, and that's
Yeah.
why they're so prevalent.
Yeah.
They got a big weekend this weekend.
It's all about the money.
Huge.
Man.
Yeah, like we got to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Rick. What are you guys thinking about Super Bowl here?
Maybe I'm Pats.
Are you?
Yeah, man.
How?
I'm Pats.
Why?
How?
First of all, any given Sunday.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm thinking with my brain, I'm not just because I want to be the underdog, but Mike Vrabel, 2-time coach of the year, has done it in Tennessee, has done it here in New England. I'm buying whatever he's selling.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to motivate a room full of men and like get guys on the same page. Drake May, MVP runner up.
It was close, man.
So I think-
One first place vote. They were separated by 5
How did
points.
Justin Herbert get a first place vote?
yeah, that's
You know what? I obviously I think that's crazy. He wouldn't have been on my ballot. But when you talk about value to the team, what he did getting them to 12 wins with no offensive line,
Is
like
that what the wording
both his
behind
tackles.
is that what the wording behind the MVP in the NFL is?
yeah, I think
Right, because there's the whole
The
heart
language,
trophy in
I
the
know.
Yeah.
NHL and the
The
blah blah blah
language.
behind that.
yeah.
but they got a legit QB who can throw it, but I think his legs will come into play. And if they can, and I've said this from the jump, if they can keep it scrappy, just muck it up, it's anybody's game. Yes, Seattle's roster is is better.
Yep.
They're more talented defensively. Sam Darnold, he has proven that he's not just a game manager, but he can take over a game and be a complete passer. But there's something about New England, man, that I'm just not counting them out. I'm not, and I really think that they'll be in this one.
Do you think there's ever going to be, because I feel like the narrative in football is like quarterback is the most important. You have to have a good quarterback to win. Do you think there's like a narrative shift, like instead of the quarterback having the best defensive unit, that is the number one most important thing? Because then, like, and listen, Sam Darnold's played really well. Sam Darnold has like proved a lot of people wrong. What was it, like 350 yards against the Rams in the end? Like he stepped up when people didn't think he would. But even still, like, do you think that it would ever shift? Like, hey, we don't need a Joe Burrow. We don't need a Josh Allen. We just need a really good defense and a game manager. And I'm not saying Sam Darnold's a game manager, but
The tale as old as time, Deck.
Defense
Every
wins championships.
sport. Say it again.
Defense wins championships.
Every single
Trent
sport.
Dilfer has the ring.
Every single sport. I don't care what sport you play. And basketball, where it's all about shot making. Defense wins championships, man.
Trent Dilfer, starting quarterback, Super Bowl ring.
Joe Flacco.
At least Flacco's still. I mean, Flacco's done a little bit more than Dilfer, and I think was it Brad Johnson? I believe his name was
For
the
Tampa.
Bucks.
Yeah, for Tampa.
Championship ring as a starting
It's all
quarterback.
about the D.
Go look at his
it's
defense.
Led by what was the score last year? How much did Philly hold KC to? 7 points at 10 points? It was like 43.
So we're
something.
screaming
Was
the
a
under for
blowout?
this game, right? 45 and a half.
Yeah,
If
I
especially if
think
New
this
England
is-
wins. If New
and
England
if
wins,
this is like a 10-7 game at half. Boy, that's New England style right there.
yeah.
That's
Kind of, you don't think that's kind of Seattle's style too?
Yeah, they can
But
both thrive in
that
that.
favors that New England's laughing then. Seattle has shown they have the capability to air it out and put up some quick points. If New England doesn't allow that, it's anybody's game.
Then all of a sudden those ghosts may start appearing.
He needs to prove it.
He did see ghosts against New England, right? That Monday night game.
It was in New England.
That's tough.
And then again, Vrabel. I think he loves this label of them being the underdogs. He knows how to get them right.
Did you see that reporter asking him if it was a must-win game?
No.
At the media day?
That's stupid. What was this, like a playoff game must win? I didn't see it.
Dude, someone straight at the
of course
Super Bowl
it's
media
must-win.
day, someone straight up asked me, was like, is this a must-win game?
Oh, if the Super Bowl was
Dude, and here's the thing. I thought there was gonna be like a follow-up. I thought it would, because it's still a ridiculous question, but I thought they were gonna be like, is this a must-win game in the sense that if you lose by 50, the narrative is gonna be this, whatever. But he just was like, you gotta win it. You gotta win this game. Like the Super Bowl, yeah, we must win, man. It's the last game of this is the Super Bowl. So Rick, you're taking Seahawks then.
Yeah, I honestly I don't see how New England gets more than say 13, 14 points. Like 2 touchdowns for me for New England is going to be big. Look what they did in the last 2 games. And you know what? If New England can keep it close, then yeah, more pressure on Sam Darnold. The more pressure on Darnold, the more opportunity we see the Jets version of Darnold come out probably. But if the Seahawks can get up by a couple, take the pressure off, start handing it off, I can see them running away with it.
So what are you guys doing for it? You guys doing Super Bowl parties?
Wait, what? You?
I'm rolling with the Seahawks. I think like Drake May was my MVP this year on my fake ballot. I had him as my MVP over Stafford. And so I think anytime you have, the best player the best player on the field is probably JSN, but my point being quarterback, anytime you have the best player on the field, I think it should favor that team. But then I look at what that defensive unit for Seattle does. And Seattle, the defense, that Houston defense and even the Broncos defense to an extent, they were like, hey, we're going to pin our ears back and we're just going to rush you. Seattle does everything so schematically, everything is disguised. Everything is based off it's schematic, like I said. And I just think as good as Drake May is and as great of a season as I thought he just had, I feel like still being a young quarterback in the biggest moment under those bright lights with a defense who, like I said, disguises everything as well as Seattle does, I think that can give you some problems. I think that can scare you a little bit. And then I think Seattle, I think they have enough on offense to get it done. So I look at the units, do I trust Seattle's defense more than the Patriots offense? I probably do. Do I trust Seattle's offense more than the Patriots defense? That's a closer conversation, but I think I might because of the guys like JSN and Kenneth Walker and what I've seen from Sam Darnold.
And especially if New England is going 3-0, that defense gets no rest. If New England's defense can't get any rest, it's going to make it easier and easier and easier for the Seahawks to put up points on them.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And if the Broncos would have just kicked the field goal when they were up 7-0 to go up 10-0, the Pats may not even be here.
Can I get some advice from you guys?
Yeah.
This is a safe space.
For sure.
So I've been asked to go to many different Super Bowl parties, and I always have Super Bowl Grey Cup over the years. In this year, because I'm on the radio at 7 a.m. on Monday morning, and it's not because I don't drink or anything, but I wanted this year just take notes, sit in quiet, and watch the game and thoroughly watch it. Because typically at parties, it's loud, people are around talking.
It's the worst.
I'm the former pro. I'm the token football guy, so everybody wants to talk shop with me. I can't really focus on the game. There's people in the background. We all know that, right? Yep. Great food, great people always, and I love being
friends
social.
and family.
But this year, I kind of just want to lay low, take notes, focus on the game. Where do you guys come out on that?
100%, man.
My wife and kids might actually go to a party, and I might just stay home.
100%.
That's kind of what I want to do.
Dude, you go in the next day at 7 a.m. and break it down. Then you have to come here at 9:30 and break it down some more. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I am the biggest non-Super Bowl party guy ever. I'm actually going to go to one. I'm actually going to go to one because it's coupled with a really good friend of mine's birthday. So I'm obviously going to go. But all I've ever wanted to do during the Super Bowl, Grey Cup, watch it by myself. Maybe watch it with my dad if he wants to.
Done deal.
But I don't want no disrespect to anybody, because everyone, listen, everyone's allowed to like what they like. Everyone's allowed to not like what they don't like. But there is nothing I hate more than watching the Super Bowl with someone who has not watched a football game all season, who all of a sudden thinks they know everything. And even if they don't, someone who, and nothing wrong with learning, nothing wrong with asking questions, but like, please don't ask me who that player is and point at the quarterback during the Super Bowl. Like, we're trying to watch the game. No disrespect, no shade, but we are there to watch the game.
Mhm.
That's what it's about. So that's why I always want to watch it alone. I always maybe like just get my diet root beer, maybe order a pizza,
Have some food. Yeah.
watch it by myself. Because here's the other thing. Like, people go to Super Bowl parties because it's like fun and enjoyable. I totally get that. The most fun for me is watching it by myself. Like, I have
With you.
way more
I'm
fun
so
doing
with
it that
you on
way
that.
than I do with other people.
It's no different. I'd say to people like the Oilers Stanley Cup run. I can't not like I have to lock in and watch it and take notes to be able to come in on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
The next day, if they played on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And break it down. Like,
Yep.
In football is no different. And sure, I know the game in and out, but I still want to attentively pay attention to it. And again, for some reason, everybody always wants to talk football with me. And
Yeah. And
You know?
one thing I've really noticed is like being in sports radio. Like, I don't know if you guys have got this as well. Obviously, Eddie, you probably the most because you played. Rick, you being, with the nation. Like, people also always, when they talk about sports with me, like, they want to prove they know more than I do.
Yeah.
And like,
I've encountered that.
Yeah, and just prove like they just want to get into like a takeoff. Like, with you is probably a little bit different because they have so much respect for the game you played. But with me, it's just always it's a takeoff.
Got to prove you're smarter than the
Yeah,
other
and it's like, man, like I wouldn't go to a mathematician and just tell him I know more about math than him. Like, my thing is like, okay, like sure, maybe even if you do, like what point are you trying to prove? Like, who cares, man? Like, can we just enjoy this? And then the other thing I really hate is like I don't want to throw any, people I'm at Super Bowl parties
It's
with
a
under the
safe
bus,
space. It's a safe space.
but it's just always like you'll get some
Just be real,
wives,
just
you'll
be
get some
real,
wives
just
and
be real.
you'll get some wives and some GFs who are
Yeah, that's
talking a
what it
little
is.
too much.
That's exactly what we talked about at the radio. It was on break. It wasn't live, but that's exactly what BD said.
Yeah.
It's the females and the wives and GS.
We had that during the hockey playoffs. I had a couple of boys. We have 3 tables. They're right in front of the big TVs, and it's usually just the boys, and it's whatever. It's focus on hockey. Then one of the guys brought over the friend, the girl, and she brought a couple of friends. The next thing you know, you're watching, but now they're talking about whatever they're talking
Yeah.
about, but it's definitely not this.
and-
And it's distracting,
Yeah.
and you're like, now all of a sudden, and it might not be the way you guys think, but now great, you're talking about this, and
And-
it's affecting the game now. Yeah, it's frustrating.
And this is in no way like a women's stay out of sports thing at all.
No,
I don't mean that at
No,
all. Like,
no,
I don't mean
no.
that in the slightest. I just mean like, hey, it's 3rd and 7. This might be their 3rd straight 3 and out. Could you sit down from in
Like
front of
you
the
said,
TV showing
Who's that
us?
quarterback dating?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
shush.
Yeah, like, and it's
We
just
got a game on here.
and dude, the other thing that really drives me crazy is this is like a personal one. It doesn't happen so much with like my friends, but like friends of friends, you'll always find you'll always have I hate speaking in generalities, but like you'll have the wife who's like, I get all my information from Kevin. And then you hear Kevin talk about the sport and you're like, wow, I've never heard anyone know less actually about the sport.
That's funny.
Like,
man.
Kevin, why don't you tell us what a gunner is?
That's
Like,
so funny.
and it just, and that's one, and the reason I bring it up, and that voice was pretty rude, my bad. But the reason I bring it up like that is because you really have to bite your tongue. You're like, these aren't my friends.
Totally.
Like, these are friends of my
Have to be
friends.
polite
And I just-
cordial.
So now I just have to sit here for the next 4 hours and watch this guy think he knows what he's talking about, talk about the game when he's like, again, and it's like,
My mind is made up, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
The
you're
whole-
all good,
Hey,
bro.
The best thought right now is at home, dark room with maybe a little lamp on in the corner.
Some food, some
In
beverage.
my boxers, under a blanket with some food.
there we go.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
come?
Ain't nothing wrong with
Pause?
Pause.
No, man. Yeah, this is, I guess we better wrap this one up. Yeah, no shit. Like, everyone, listen, you're always welcome to watch the Super Bowl. It's for
And
everyone.
watch however you want to watch.
Yeah, watch however you want to watch. This was just, it was a rant that got a little personal for all of us.
And I
I think.
needed to ask because the fellas on the morning show, they were a little different. They thought I was kind of a loser for the type of
man.
mentality.
but you guys were totally in
No,
agreement.
man, I'm
we're
zoned
football
right in,
heads.
bro.
We're sport heads.
Yeah, like,
I'm zoned right in. I can have 20 people around me, and it doesn't really matter.
And it's
'cause I'm
like-
focused on the TV, and I'm about 3 feet away from the TV.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
that guy. All right,
100%. Hand on the chair, foot on the like I'm moving.
Yeah,
Things
yeah,
can
yeah.
happen around me, but little things will
this
bug
guy
me.
right here.
100%, dude.
and it's like
wiggling.
People come to watch me watch sometimes.
another
Real,
thing
bro.
about it is
That's a
like
good one.
that people don't always understand is like they're like, what do you mean you don't want to be like with your friends, like filling out ballots and like being like, I'm like, it's more fun for
Socializing.
me to
Yeah,
watch.
this,
Like,
this is what I like. This
yes,
is what I like. Yeah,
yes.
that's all.
And I've done it. Like I always go to parties. This is the first year where I really just want to lay
Yeah.
low and just lock in.
For sure.
Watch New England grit this thing out, man. Every play matters.
That's gonna be 60 minutes.
Well, you ain't watching that. 60 minutes to Seahawks dominance.
I think so.
20.
12th man. 20. All right. Anything else we want to end it on?
We're good.
All right. If you're listening to this here, also check out Elks 101. We do that on Monday. It's on a different podcast setting, all on the same YouTube channel. We appreciate you being here. Thank you to Rick. Thank you to Eddie. Thank you to Kordell Jackson. And we will talk to you guys on Monday. Love you guys.